Maya. A young soldier with an infant in her arms and the kind of weariness no 20-something should ever have to carry alone. Daniel felt the truth of that settle somewhere deep inside him as he watched her quietly, respectfully, from the bench across the hallway. He didn't stare. He didn't pry. He simply existed near her, the way someone does when they recognize another human being who was one breath away from collapsing. The hallway hummed with the soft throb of fluorescent lights, the heater pushing out warm air in slow waves. Early morning shadows stretched long across the floor. And in the middle of all that silence, Maya looked like a contradiction, strong yet fragile, sharp yet fading, disciplined yet breaking in all the invisible places. Her baby slept soundly on her chest, tiny fists curled, cheek pressed against her uniform. Daniel noticed how her hand hovered protectively over the baby's back, even in her exhaustion. Reflex. Muscle memory. Love disguised as vigilance. She blinked slowly, like every drop of energy she had was swimming behind her eyes. Long night? Daniel asked softly, careful not to disturb the baby. Her lips parted, and for a second he thought she wouldn't answer. But then she exhaled a slow release that looked like it hurt. Long everything. He nodded. He understood that kind of answer. Maya shifted, wincing slightly as her shoulders settled back into the cold wall. He doesn't sleep much lately. Growth spurts, I guess. Or maybe he just enjoys the idea of me suffering. The joke was weak, but real. Daniel huffed a small smile. They're good at that. My daughter used to have radar. The second I sat down, she'd scream like it was a personal betrayal. Maya's eyes warmed. How old is she? 7. Going on 17. A tiny laugh slipped out of Maya before she caught it. The kind of laugh that comes out accidentally when someone surprises you with humanity. She rubbed the back of the baby's head gently. You raised her alone? Daniel hesitated. It wasn't a painful question anymore, but it was a tender one. Yeah. Since she was a baby. Something in Maya's face softened, not pity, just understanding. That must have been hard. It was. He didn't hide it. But she saved my life too. Kids do that, even when they don't know. Maya swallowed hard. Her fingers tightened on the baby's tiny back. Yeah, she whispered. They do. For a moment, the hallway was quiet except for the soft hum of warm air. Maya looked at her son like he was the only thing keeping her anchored. And maybe he was. After a moment, she shifted again, slowly, carefully, trying not to wake him. Daniel could see the fatigue etched into every part of her. Her hands trembled when she adjusted the baby carrier. Not enough for anyone else to see. Enough for him to notice. You should rest for a minute, he offered. You look like you haven't slept in days. She huffed a breath. Try weeks. He didn't joke. Didn't smile. Just nodded once. Then sit. Breathe. I'll keep things quiet. Her eyes flicked toward him, not suspicious, not cautious, just surprised. Most people don't notice, she said softly. Or they pretend not to. He shrugged. I've been where you are. It's hard to pretend you don't see someone drowning when you've drowned before. Her breath caught for the smallest moment. Her eyelashes fluttered downward, guarding emotions she didn't want to show. Daniel looked away, giving her permission to be vulnerable without being watched. She leaned her head back again, and this time she let her eyes close, not sleep, she was too alert for that, but rest. A brief, fragile surrender. Daniel let her be. He cleaned a nearby counter quietly, more for something to do than for necessity. His steps were soft. His breathing slower. He created calm the only way he knew how, by not disrupting hers. After a few minutes, Maya spoke again, voice low and almost hesitant. Do you ever feel like you're carrying the world on your back, and everyone thinks you're fine because you pretend well? Daniel paused, leaning on his mop handle. Every day for the first 3 years after my wife passed. Her eyes opened at that. I'm sorry. You don't have to be, he replied gently. Life happens. We just figure out how to keep moving. She stared at him for a long moment, long enough that he could see the storm behind her calm. Long enough that she could see the scars behind his steadiness. Finally she whispered, "Sometimes I think I'm not cut out for this." "For motherhood?" he asked gently. "Or for the military?" She gave a tired, broken kind of smile. "Both." Daniel walked over slowly, not close enough to invade her space, but close enough that his presence felt like a grounded place to land. "Maya," he said quietly, "you're here. Your baby is safe, warm, fed, asleep. That makes you more than cut out for this." Her eyes glistened, not with tears but with the shock of hearing something she hadn't realized she needed. She looked down at her son again. Her thumb brushed his cheek, unbelievably tender. "Sometimes I'm afraid he deserves better." Daniel's voice softened, steady as a heartbeat. "Every good parent has that fear. The bad ones never do." Maya froze, the words hit her like a truth she'd been running from. Daniel returned to his bench and sat again, giving her the space to feel whatever she felt. She didn't cry. Soldiers like her didn't crack in ways the world recognized. They cracked inward, quietly. She stared at her baby for so long the hallway seemed to hold its breath. "He was unexpected," she whispered. "I wasn't ready. I was still deployed when I found out." My CO didn't say anything, but the looks, she shook her head. "People talk. They judge. They think being a soldier and being a mother don't belong in the same body." Daniel's jaw tightened. He knew judgment. He'd tasted plenty of it. "People talk because it's easier than understanding," he said. "But talking doesn't raise a kid. Love does." Maya looked up slowly, really seeing him this time. Her face softened, something unguarded flickering behind her eyes. "How did you do it?" she asked. "How did you raise your daughter alone?" He let out a breath, remembering long nights and long days and long tears. 1 hour at a time. Maya absorbed that. A single nod. A long silence. The baby shifted again, little fingers curling into her collar. Her hand steadied him instinctively. She was exhausted, yes. But she loved him with every thread of her being. Daniel saw it as clearly as he saw the cracks. The hallway warmed further. Dawn crept through the far windows in soft orange streaks. Staff would start arriving soon. The school would wake up. But this moment, this raw, quiet moment, felt suspended in time. Maya exhaled shakily. "Thank you, Daniel." He offered a gentle smile. "Any time." She didn't know how much he meant that. How natural it felt to be here, sitting with someone who carried the same silent heaviness he did. How long it had been since he talked to another adult without pretending everything was fine. 2 strangers. 2 broken souls. 2 parents holding the world together with nothing but tired hands and stubborn hearts, and for the first time in a long time, neither of them felt alone. Epichahan to Iska. Next scene be 1600 to 1700 words. Me expand card dita hone.